So one of the things that you specifically brought up as an interest and a area of expertise and so forth that we want to talk about today is the difference of internal versus external threats in cybersecurity. So tell me more about the insider threat landscape at the moment. You had a report from July 25th of this year that indicates that insider threats have risen to new all-time highs in the past 12 months. Can you say why that is? Why that's changing?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, there's a lot of data out there about external hacks and,
Okay.
and security, less so about insider threats. So we partnered with cybersecurity insiders to see, what the state of insider threats is in 2019.
Hmm.
I'm going to rattle off a couple of facts here.
Please.
So what the report found is 70% of organizations have confirmed that they actually have seen insider attacks become more frequent.
Hmm.
68% feel extremely or moderately more vulnerable. 39% have identified cloud storage and file apps as the most vulnerable to attacks. Then this last point I wanted to share, 85% of organizations find it moderately difficult to determine the damage of an insider attack. I
Hmm.
think that last point is really important. It's really hard to identify if your users are doing something they're not supposed to do. Um, After all, they're supposed to use your data in their day-to-day job. So trying to go back and take a look at what they've accessed and try and determine what they've done is difficult and time consuming. And it's certainly one area where that old saying of an ounce of prevention
Yeah.
really applies.
Okay. So before we get too far into the weeds here, let's talk about the actual definition of what we mean by insider threats as used by this report. When we are speaking about what do we mean when we say that? Is that employees with bad intents? Is this third parties who have privileged access to networks and data? Is it some combination of this? Is it other things?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. It's really a combination of all those things. So,
Okay.
your malicious insiders are your employees, your internal users who are
Right.
looking to steal your information and use
Yes.
it for personal gain. So, think like credit card numbers, social security numbers, where they're going to steal that data and
Yep.
commit fraud and to put money in their pocket. Um, Negligent insiders, though, are the ones you really don't think about. Those are the
Yeah.
folks who are inadvertently putting your data at risk.
Hmm.
Just think about those whoops moments, like how many times have you accidentally shared an email with the wrong attachment or
Right.
sent the wrong email to someone? We've all done it, but that in and itself, can be a data breach depending on what information you've shared. So it's these types of scenarios, both malicious and negligent, that make up insider threats.